Hi guys, and welcome to another process video. And today I am playing in my art journal. So what I'm starting with is actually already two really fun starting points. One is this background that I have in my art journal. This is the big Dylusions, the large Dylusions art journal. And I don't know when I did this or what I used, but it's there. So I am trying to go through this journal, which has a lot of these backgrounds that I never finished, and trying to create finished spreads. And the other piece that I'm using here is something that I made on cardstock, some scrapbooking American craft cardstock. I was playing around with stamps and watercolors. I think I was trying to come up with something for a class or something. One of my classes on big picture classes, but this didn't turn out to be anything. So I thought it would be fun to use on a scrapbook on an art journaling layout. And I decided I wanted kind of an interactive element here. So sorry for all that fussing around. I pulled out a piece of paper from an old diary, planner, whatever, from 2016. And I'm going to use it here. But I haven't decided yet exactly where, and the first thing I want to do is use some white paint and kind of blur the edges of this piece of cardstock. Now, because it's cardstock, you know, it's pretty thick, so I can't completely make these lines disappear. That's why I prefer using some magazine papers or something thinner as collage elements in my art journal, because the papers are thinner and you don't have those obvious lines. But I still wanted to use this, and I'm going to do my best to make it look like a part of the background and not just a piece of paper that I stuck on it. So I'm adding this paper that I ripped from the diary and just adding some white paint. I really love the watercolored part next to those, I don't know how you call it, the part that you rip out that is on the spiral binding of the journal. And here I'm just adding a few bits and pieces from that paper. So I liked that pink stripe, and I also like this half lemon, I guess it is, citrusy thing. And the rest I'm not going to use. I'm sorry, this is like sped up, I think, ×4 to make it long enough so you can see what I made and I can explain it to you, but not too long that we all get bored and yeah, it just becomes too long. So again, I'm going with the white. It's just one of my favorite things to do now. Just add some white with like a gift card or a spatula, like a palette knife, and kind of tone down everything. Then I can add some more color, and then I can tone it down again if I want. And I'm adding this beautiful color from Martha Stewart. I think it's called something glass beach, something with that. But it's just a really, really beautiful shade of aqua, kind of the perfect color in my opinion. And the nice thing, it's really nice to use just colors you love straight from the bottle without having to mix them. It just makes life a little bit easier. So this is an older tube of acrylic paint, and it just, I think the paint separated a little bit, so just a little bit of, I don't know, oil or something came out. Probably not oil, something else that is in it. but it's kind of this lovely kind of peachy skin tone color, and I really like it. So I'm adding it. Again, with my palette knife. I hate using brushes. I hate washing brushes. So if I can avoid it, that's what I'm gonna do. And I really like actually the combination of that aqua color and that peach color. And now I'm just adding a little bit of these fun golden liquid, they're fluid paints. I got this set of 10, I think, from Blitsy. It's an online American store, and they have sometimes really good deals on art supplies. So that's where I got that, and it really reacts with water, you know, while it's wet. Once it's dry, it's permanent because this is acrylic paint. But while it's wet, if you spray water on it, it really spreads and really reacts. So lots of fun, kind of, I guess, as similar as you can get to watercolor with acrylic paint. So you have that advantage that once it's dry, it won't react and you can add more layers on top of it. And I really liked how that yellow was adding this really nice color. Sorry, that was the voice of desperation, because of course the phone rang exactly 5 minutes after I put Lily to take a nap, my baby girl. So it's kind of a law that if the phone rings, it will be while someone is napping. So anyway, real life, sorry, let's move on. I really liked how that yellow paint looked over the other colors that I had in my background, because it's transparent. Then, you know, when I added it on top of the aqua, it created this really pretty lime green, and when I added it on top of the pink, it became kind of an orange. So now I'm just playing around with some pencils, and some of these are watercolor pencils and some are not. So some are oil-based or wax-based, but I just went with colors that I liked and just adding some details. It's some of the pencils work better on my surface. There are different surfaces there because of the acrylic paint and the paper. So some parts are just a bit better for adding those details and some not so much. But I'm just playing around and kind of adding things where I think they need some more detail. But honestly, I'm mostly playing around. So just kind of going with the flow, and it is sped up like 4 times, but I have to tell you that I'm working pretty fast just because I'm going with the flow, and I have this knowledge that keeps me kind of looser with my process, that you know, I'll probably go over things again with some white paint, so I can go crazy with color. If I like it, I don't have to cover it with white, but if I don't, then I know I can always tone it down, and I can try things and experiment and add layers, see if I like it or not, and learn for the next time also. So this is a watercolor pencil from Prima, and once you add water to it, it obviously kind of reacts. So you can see how suddenly the pigment appears and becomes like darker, and you can move it around. And I'm just repeating some of the shapes that I have, going over the basic shapes again and again. It's those repeating patterns that really appeal to me, and just adding some more and more detail, it makes everything look better at the end. Now I have to say, composition wise, this is kind of, I don't know, all over the place. I'm again really going with the flow. It's been such a fun process for me. If you've followed my channel, then I think this is the 3rd art journal spread, or 4th, that I'm sharing this month. because I've really enjoyed playing with my art supplies in this way, and I don't know, it's kind of like making a huge mess, but somehow at the end I really love the result. And it's hard to stop, and it's hard to say when, you know, enough is enough, and when a layout is finished or a spread is finished. And you know, there are no rules. You can always go back to it even years later or months later and change things up if you want. That's one of the nice things about a journal, that it can be like a work in progress, and you know, you can go back and change things if you're not happy with them. But now I'm just trying to, you know, if I have a shape somewhere, then I'm trying to repeat that shape somewhere else. If I'm doing something on the spread, then I try to do it also in a different place. And I made these circles now with my black watercolor pencil, and now I think I want to add some color, so I'm trying all kinds of markers. Some work better, some not so much. I think paint markers are one of the things that have limited shelf life, and you shouldn't, you know, hang on to them for years and years. You should try and use them while they are relatively new. I think these ones I got as one of my wedding anniversary presents, probably a year and a half ago or something. So yeah, my husband already knows that the best gift for me is a trip to the art store. That makes me so much happier than any type of like jewelry or clothes or any of those things. So art supplies, that's the way to my heart. So now I have this white acrylic paint pen. These are from Liquitex. Actually, the pink is from Montana, I think, which is another company. But most of my paint markers are from Liquitex, the big chunky ones. They're really fun to play with. Very pretty colors. And the white one is not the most opaque it could be, but it's actually, I think, good for an art journal, because I don't know, most of the times I want to tone things down. I don't want to cover them completely. So I think that actually it's good the way it is, but it's not completely opaque. And now I'm just adding some more details with this pen. I think it's called the Epic pen. I got it off Amazon. It's a fountain pen. The problem with it is that it has a very, very fine tip, and some of the places on my layout where there are a lot of layers, it's a little bit challenging to write with it. So I have better luck with some of my thicker pens when it comes to art journaling on these very layered spreads. I think if you just have like a couple of layers of watercolors or something like that, then it's not a problem. I really love how this pen writes, but it has a very, very fine tip. And now I'm just adding some details with one of my Shimmers sprays. This one is called Mandarin Mai Tai, and it's this beautiful color, somewhere between yellow and orange. And it just layers beautifully because it's so transparent. So very good for adding those details. You can see how it just tints where you apply it, and you can still see everything underneath. Was thinking about using that turquoise mist, but it was a little bit too dark. So now I grabbed this Sharpie white pen, and I'm just going over some of the shapes, just adding those details, keeping it messy. You know, when you press down the tip, then the color flows out. So that gives things a very messy look, which I like. I'm kind of going for that. And every time I close my journal there or flip the page, I just want things to transfer between. If I have like a pool of color, then I like to close my journal so that the color also transfers to the other side. And now I'm also using this Sharpie pen. It's a really fun one. I am not sure how these are called, but they came in a package of four, and four lovely pastel shades, and they write over everything, and they are opaque. You will see those details better in the close-ups of how fun they look, and I really like them for adding those sketchy details, mostly kind of at the end of my process. So we're getting near the end here. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some splatters all over this, just to kind of bring things together. And I'm going to use white acrylic ink. I'm not sure about the company, but I got it off Amazon Germany. And just adding some splatters, and then I'm also going to add some darker splatters with one of my Shimmers sprays. So here are some close-up shots of all the lovely details. I hope you're enjoying this series of art journal spreads. Please give me a thumbs up if you want to see more of these, and if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I wish you a lovely day, and look, I think that's my favorite close-up. Love all those details. And my interactive element on my layout. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.